Mukhtar, what we see play out today, and how are these results affecting sentiments, investor sentiments today?
Well, investment sentiment is still very low. I mean, we're still um, looking at the market in terms of the microeconomic stability of the market, in spite of some good results and declaration of interim dividends. Investors are still sitting on the fence and looking for good entry prices because of the I think generally the economy activities has not been anything so exciting for investors going forward. And especially that we are entering an election year where a lot of investors think it's better to just sit down and watch and know which part the election is going to go before you begin to take your positions. And most of these stocks are their third quarter results. So most investors are still looking at the results, still going through the results and looking at the dividend payout, what it would be like, and looking to where to enter in
Oh,
terms of a good entry point.
all right, now let's get into one of the companies that have released today and also made an announcement around dividend payments, like you rightly said. We're looking at SEPLAT here, SEPLAT Energy. We're seeing revenue up 34%, gross profit up about 93%. These are in dollar terms, and quite a lot playing out for this company here. But what's your take on SEPLAT?
SEPLAT is a good one. We expect them to declare record profits. If Total Energy has done that, I mean, globally, we saw them declare record profits this week, where I was thinking that SEPLAT will give a record profit because of the high price, in terms of high price of crude oil. But a lot of things are not working for them. Like number one is the crude oil thief. I think it's affecting their bottom line. But with what they've been able to achieve, with the kind of security challenges that they've gone through, I think we should commend the management for that. And I think it's still one of the best stock in the oil sector of Nigeria exchange. But we still feel that there should be more to it, especially with the high price of crude.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot happening there, but some good news for the company, talking about the resumption of the transfer cargoes pipeline there. And also, I'd like you to comment on, because the company also made a comment here on its interest to purchase for the sale and purchase agreement for Mobile and Unlimited Nigeria, talking about their MMPU still remains valid here.
While that is being enshrouded in a lot of controversy, today the presidency is saying going ahead with it. Tomorrow NNPC is coming that we have first right of refusal. So we've not heard the last about this, and they are just optimistic that that deal will go through. But for now, I think that deal is still having a lot of teething issues. Hopefully, I think they should resolve it, and that could help the market respond when those issues are resolved. Remember when they made this announcement, it was positive on their in terms of their share price. But after the the presidency came in and said that they were not advised properly, and later on went back in, then the president, then NNPC. So it has been an issue that have been coming and going. I think it's high time they address it, and then investors will be able to take position. Investors don't want to make their decision based on that, and at the end of the day, the sale did not go on.
All right, let's move on to another sector, which is the telecom sector. Another results that came out today. We're talking about Airtel Africa. Quite a lot here. Total consumer base of the company up 9.7% to 134.7 million. We're also seeing mobile money transactions continue to increase, but sadly, we're seeing more or less the company's profit after tax down by 1.5%.
Yeah, and Ken, I mean, we saw the sell-off in that stock in the past 2 weeks. We've seen heavy sell-off, and that calls to question maybe. I mean, some investors are getting hint about it because with the result coming in now, and it's not commensurate to what investors are expecting, then it's something that I think the exchange group should take upon themselves and look at why was this heavy sales in the past 2 weeks before the release of this result, and the result has not been fantastic. So, but when you look at the result, The only good thing is that they are able to still pay an interim dividend, no matter how small it is, and this interim dividend will be paid in FX. So, and that is a game changer. You know, Nigerians are looking for FX. So most Nigerian investors are investing in that space because of the FX and also because of the dual listing. Remember that it's listed here and also in the London Stock Exchange. And so when you look at that, and in terms of their being a money agent, that part of that business have not really kickstart in Nigeria. And we believe that when that fully takes place in Nigeria, it could also help them grow their bottom line, because that is they are seeing those record numbers from that space from other African countries.
But let's get into another story that I'd really like you to comment on here. We're talking about the banking sector here and the recent move by Moody's. Moody's more or less recently downgraded Nigeria's long-term ratings for 9 banks from B3 to B2, from B2, and they've also placed the review for further downgrades here. Quite a lot here. Banks affected. We're seeing Access Bank, the big names, Zenith Bank, First Bank, United UBA, GT Bank, Union Bank, Fidelity Bank, FCMB, and Sterling Bank all affected here.
Yeah, I think we need to bring a perspective to that and downgrading. We need to let people know that it's not the downgrading that means that Access Bank, Zenith Bank, GT Bank, and others are not good banks or they're having issues. But it's just that it will take a lot for them to attract foreign investment into those companies because of the high yield they will have to pay, or the high interest they will have to pay for any transaction that they have to do outside the shore of Nigeria because of the FX challenge that Nigeria is battling. So with that, if you look at that based on what Moody has done, then you have no reason to doubt what they've done, because definitely we are really facing a strong FX challenge. And so I think I go with it, but then we must put it clear, it has not affected their bottom line whatsoever. And some of these banks are still very, very liquid. But in terms of doing business abroad or attracting investors, they may be doing that at a higher rate comparable to what it should have been.
All right, then we'll keep our eyes on how the market continues to play out there, what the response will be here. But thank you so much for your time. Mukhtar Mohammed here, an analyst at Assar Investments.